I would say there's a bit of news to get to, but there is not much. It's more just rumors for matches at WrestleMania. But there is big news to get to, breaking news, that Mandy Rose has been released from her WWE contract. According to reports, which I'm sure we will know more as the days and weeks go on, but it seems like the reason is because of her fan time page and the content that is on her fan time page. It just, it's one of those cases of what she is posting on social media may or may not be appropriate or may have been deemed inappropriate for WWE. I don't believe that this is going to be a long term thing. I could see Mandy Rose possibly come back in the not too distant future. But as far as this being the end of what was a spectacular title reign from one of the more underrated champions in WWE, it is an unfortunate way to end it. But I do think that it is possible that we could see Mandy Rose come back in the not too distant future once things cool down, or especially if her content on her social media page changes. I can understand and I very much agree with WWE's decision because they have a public reputation to abide by, and I also know that they have certain expectations for their talent, so that if their talent is posting, so it's basically the same as posting things that may be deemed inappropriate on social media. I have never heard of Fan Time. I've never heard of that platform. I have no interest in learning about the platform. But from what I understand, it is a similar platform to the likes of maybe OnlyFans, and the content seems to be a little bit more adult oriented. But again, making assumptions and jumping to conclusions is not really the ideal thing to be doing right here, other than to say that once we know more, I will pass it on to you and uh, express my opinion on the situation in a more accurate and less convoluted manner. But it is very hard for us in news and wrestling fans to not jump to conclusions or defy expectations as to why something all of a sudden takes place. But what I do know is that either way, it is an unfortunate circumstance, but it does explain why. It does explain why Mandy Rose was put in the position she was last night on NXT, with a new NXT champion being crowned. But I think, normally I would allow you to have the opportunity to look at the spoiler, to not worry about the spoilers. But considering the fact that now the big news of the day is Mandy Rose getting released, it is pretty much expected that if she did not lose the NXT Women's Championship, that the title would be vacated, and it would have been more of a problem for NXT not having somebody to be able to defeat Mandy Rose and end that title reign after all this time. So at least they were able to do that. I mean, making the best of a bad situation, but either way, it is a bad situation, and I wish nothing but the best for Mandy Rose, and do hope that Mandy will be back in WWE before long. Speaking of somebody that does not want to be, that wants to come back, but people don't want him to come back, that being former WWE chairman Vince McMahon. I am one of the people that don't want Vince back, and I am not alone. A number of WWE employees, both executives, agents, and wrestlers, don't want Vince back. The morale has never been higher. Things have never been better in WWE for the last few years, or haven't been better in WWE for the last few years. And just in general, Vince is not welcomed back. Vince would not be welcomed back with open arms. Most of the people within the company don't want him back. And Apparently, there was even a report that said, or a part of the report that said that basically his family would step up and actively try and stop him from coming back to the company because to WWE, it would do irreparable damage to the company's reputation if Vince decided to come back or if Vince somehow found a way back to WWE, which I do completely agree with. I think it would do long-term damage to WWE if Vince did come back. And it would be something that, in my opinion, would put on display how selfish Vince McMahon is. That he would put his company, his baby, he would put his baby at risk for what? Selfishly wanting to return to the spotlight, selfishly wanting to return to the WWE. The fact of the matter is, if Vince wants to return, if Vince wants to be back in the spotlight, if Vince wants to do something with the wrestling business, then how about this? Don't return, but let the company honor you. Let the company send you off into the sunset, and induct you into the Hall of Fame. You can come back, say your goodbyes, and disappear, and then retire, like so many people want you to. Because the fact of the matter is, WWE is in a better position now than they were under Vince McMahon. WWE is in a better position now than they were under Vince McMahon because Triple H has a clear direction and knows what he's doing. Yes, it's going to take a while to, resuscitate the brand and bring things back and bring the ratings back and blah, 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 and find their footing. Because it's not, bringing the fans back is not something that's going to happen overnight. But the fact of the matter is, if it is something that WWE can do over the long term, then the fact of the matter is, it would be better off for the company. It would be better off for the company being able to do it over the long term. And having a clear direction, because that is something I've said that the company needs. And I've said it for years, that a long-term direction is something that the company needs. And it is something that they seemingly just avoid for whatever reason. But now under Triple H, it seems like they have more of a stable, consistent picture that they want to paint. And the proper direction that they're going is a long-term plan, and not just a long-term plan with somebody like Bray Wyatt, but a long-term plan with a lot of the people in the company overall. I mean, look at what they did with Dexter Lumis and The Miz. It's just a question of what works and what doesn't, what's next, and where we're going from here. But I do hope that Vince McMahon wakes up from whatever bad dream he's having and realizes that walking away from WWE at the time that he walked away from WWE was not a bad thing. It was a good thing for himself and the promotion that he spent half his life, or a majority of his life, building into a powerful juggernaut like he did with WWE. Speaking of WWE, though, we already mentioned Roxanne Perez and the title win. We already mentioned Mandy Rose. But now it is a question of WrestleMania. WrestleMania is around the corner, and we already took some time and did way too early predictions. We will do that again. Now it is the question of where do the rumors lie, and the rumors lie apparently with still John Cena versus Logan Paul as John Cena's rumored match for the WrestleMania card. if Cena is able to work WrestleMania, and I guess the same with Logan Paul, who is recovering from an MCL tear, that if Logan and John Cena are both able to work, then that would be a spectacular way to use two widely known superstars. Also, Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair. It is insane to me. I mentioned this a little bit at the end of last night's video that Charlotte Flair is being talked about within the ranks of WWE Creative as somebody who could be coming back soon, or that they are going to be working to find a way to sorry, I don't really know what to say to that, but they're going to be finding a way to get Charlotte back by WrestleMania. And have Charlotte work Bianca Belair. The other matches we will talk about in the next video, Gunther versus Brock, Becky versus Ronda, are four of the rumored matches for WrestleMania, but I'm not going to hold you too long because that really threw me off, that little thing with Pete Dunne and Tyler Breeze. Clearly it was supposed to be an attack, but the fact of the matter is, it didn't pan out that way, and the game seemed to have glitched out a little bit. So you might be seeing that in a side video, but either way, if somebody can explain that to me, I would do very much appreciate it. Feel free to explain it down in the comment section below. But if you have any thoughts on anything that I've talked about in this video, or want to state your opinion on something relating to the wrestling business, you can feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. But also you can let me know you're enjoying this content by leaving a like and subscribing to this channel, because any and all interactions with the video are very much appreciated and do help. But with that being said, I am going to see you in the next one, because there is going to be another news video today, and that comes right after this. But do not forget to ding that notification bell to always know when a new video is up on the channel, and I will see you in the next one.